Well, this is Baruch. I'm here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and it's time for the Zohar on the Parsha. Today's the second day of the week, and it's Erev, let's see, tonight is the beginning, or tomorrow is a fast day. It's the 13th day of Adar. Here we are learning the Rayah Mahemna in Parshas Tisah. And let's see if it has anything to do with what's coming. But also at the same time just trying to understand it's a little deeper, this idea, and I'm not sure I could do a good job. I'll do the best I can. He says, Pekuda liten maxis hashakel b'shakel hakodesh. So there's a rule here. Commandment to give a half of a shekel of the holy shekel, the shekalim of the Beis Hamikdash. Not a whole one, but a half one. Now the Rayah Mahemna, he asked this question, who is the Rayah Mahemna? The Rayah Mahemna is a name for Moshe Rabeinu. Means a faithful shepherd. So Moshe Rabeinu, that's Moses, is called the faithful shepherd. He materializes into the physical world and to some extent in this interface where Rabbi Shimon's yeshiva is and the world beyond. So he says he materializes, and here he comes. Rayah Mahemna man machzis a shekel. What do you mean when you say machzis a shekel? I have a shekel. Ihu gon chatziahin. So let's look at it like this. It says that it's like a half of a measurement called a hin. So he said, but what he's going to say in a minute, I'm going to hip you to this. He says that he's going to say in a minute that these are actually double hays. So let's say it's going to, he says what? The shekel, the half shekel, is a half of a hin. The vav, and what is it that exactly? In other words, he says, what's the mamutza in between? The vav is mamutza. It's placed in the middle, bein shnei hay. That is the hay which represents Malchus, and the hay which represents Bina. He's in between the two. Avda the mishkel ba'oz dolad, and then the measuring stone itself. We have to get the matak on this because there's some deep stuff on this. So he says the stone that's used for weighing, it's the os yud. Let's read one more, and let's see how we could pick up the matak v'debash after that. It says, Esrim gerach hashekel da yud. So he says the 20 shekel, that we're talking about, the 20 gera, which is the shekel, is the concept of the letter yud. Now the way he wants to use the word yud is really to spell it out. Yud vav daled is a gematria of 20. So he says, Asher lo yarbe. So he says this phrase, which I don't really know what to do with it. He says the rich person should not give too much. He says, what is that? Da amuda de emseisa, that's the middle line. Lo yarbe al eser, he shouldn't give more than 10. V'hachi itma b'sefer Yetzirah, it's written like this in Sefer Yetzirah, was a very high level book. Eser sephiros belima, 10 spheros without anything else. Eser v'lo achados, there's 10, not 11. Now, all of this is really very mysterious stuff from the Rayah Mahemna. So let's come over here, and with God's help, let's look at the Matak v'devash. So in the Matak, we'll read as much of the light print as we can. Make sure I got this focused in as best I can too. So it says it's a mitzvah. The says machzik l'shekel b'shekel hakodesh. V'shol Rebbe Shimon, so Rebbe Shimon asked to the Rayah Mahemna, my machzis a shekel. So tell me, what's pshat in machzis a shekel? Why give a half of a shekel? My inyan machzis a shekel lefi hasod. Now tell me the soda. What's the secret of this? What's inside of it that makes it a reality? Ki inyan shekel hu kamo mishkal. So it's like a balance. It's like a balance scale. Sheyesh lo beis kapos mishnei tzadadim. That it has two hands, cups, but hands here, on each side. And you're going to find the balance between them. He says, a machzis shekel chainu chetzi mishkal. So he says, so again, right, what's a machzis shekel? It means a half of half, I'm not sure what it really means, one side, if he means one side of the balance. So let me see what he means like that. Chetzi mishkal, or a half of the weight. Let's see what he means. Ratzon Oloma Rebbe Shimon the Das. So Ratza Rebbe Shimon the Das. So the Indian. He wants to know the secret over here. And he answers by himself. He says like this: Ki So he says, you want to know what this half of a measurement is, the half of a mishkal. He says, hu kumo chetzi ahin, it's like a half gahin. Pirush chetzi, he means the halfway part between the base hin, shebeshem yud ke vav ke. So you say you start with a yud and you get to a k and there's a vav in the middle. And then there's another one. He says, that's the concept of hetzi ahin. In between the two hayins, we pronounce it like that. Instead of hin, it would be hayin. So he said so he says, okay, base kapos of mishkal. So let's say the two different cups of the mishkal, which kapos really means hands. Hem keneged base hayin shal l'shem avaya. They correspond to these two hays of the name avaya, perhaps because a hay is looks like a base kibble. So he did v'do vov, and this is where he said the vov b'mutza bein shnei hin. So it's in between v'oz vov shel havaya shehu so the das, which really represents das, which is the pool of chachman bina. Hika ayin lashon amishkal. This is like the tongue of the mishkal. In other words, the actual bar that is the dividing line. Hanasuna bebein beisa kapos of mechabdan, that is placed between the two cups and joins them together. Avdach the mishkal bados yud, da yud. Ha'evan and the shkol, so the stone that they use to balance out what you have, that's the yud. Lishkol ba hu os yud, so os yud, the tipas ha-chochma, and what yud are you talking about? Because yud refers to chochma. So here we talk about the ball, the bowling ball, the ball that is rolling towards Malchus. He said, he's sod os yud, the tipas ha-chochma. This is the secret of the letter yud, of the tipa of chochma, ha-shokelas l'umasa, which is able to balance corresponding to it, as tipas ha-bina kanal, the drop of bina. So you have a yud on one side, and it's going to balance, it's going to be equal in quality of the other side, which is one side is right, which is chochma, the other side is left, is bina. Okay, let's read some more and try to get a better taste. He said, let me explain another way. He said, cause of this phrase, Esrim Gera HaShekel Da Yud. That phrase, 20 Gera, makes up a shekel, and it's also the concept of Yud. He Yud Malaya Shagematria Esrim. So if you look at it, Yud is 3 letters. Sheyesh Bo Gimel Osi, it says 3 letters here. Yud Peshuta, he's sewed Yud Spheres to Abba. Ba'osi has Vav and Dalad, then you say the Vav and Dalad, Haim sewed Zun. So you have Abba here, you have the Yud, that's Abba, and the Yosiyos Vav and Dalad, Haim sewed Zun, that's for the children. Vav, he havok the Zer Anpin, so the Vav really specifically refers to Zer Anpin in the stage of Katnas, which is a Vok. The Dalad, so the Dalad, which is the lesser, he Hamalchus, she Dalad v'Chaniya, when she's really very small, very, very, very poor. Anisaknim Abba, the Yud Sephiris, and it is Abba that is able to build her into Yud Sephiris. I have to really think about that. What are we talking about here? It's their Anpin that deposits within her the 5 Chasadim that sweetens her, and over time it gives her also her Gevuros, which build her up. So what I thought is the answer to this, it says Abba is really inside of Ima. But Ima is not in this. We're not talking about Ima over here, because Ima stops at the Chazir. And the entrance to Malchus is her Yesod. It's down at opposite the Yesod is Zer Anpin. So here we're talking about building Zer Anpin up, or building her up through Abba. How's that happen? Because Abba's extension of his Yesod, which is called the Ataras Yesod of Abba, goes all the way into the Yesod of Zer Anpin. He's there too. And so therefore he delivers to her. I think this is a big hiddush for me. Maybe nobody else understands it. But I understand that they're always saying that Abba builds up the Malchus. So here you see that Abba is actually inside of Zer Anpin at this point. So he says, "Who Zer Anpin shuhu sod oz vav shuhu asher, who is wealthy." Why? Because he could see beyond. His ability to be able to see beyond. That he says like this: even though that Zer Anpin receives a tremendous amount of light from the light of Chochmah, because Chochmah runs all the way through Zer Anpin. So Zer Anpin is radiating that light. Ha'me'ira b'or godol ma'od, im kol zeh hu eine mekabel rak levi shi'ura, but even so, he only takes the amount of it that he needs, according to proper measurement. So it's like this. From the fact that he was originally 6 kitzvahs, there was only chesed gevur tefer netzach hod yisod. Na'asa ben eser spheres shlemos, he becomes 10 spheres, complete spheres. V'kach lemanda b'sefer yitzira perak aleph mishnah daled. So he says like this. He says eser spheres b'lima pirush bli shum muchus. They have no form. They have no representation. Ki after la because it's not possible to understand what they are, to come to reach them. He said, Eser v'lo achad aser, there's 10, not 11, ki after the hosif al eser spheros, because it's impossible to add on to the 10 spheros. Now to me, this is still very mysterious, and I hope that in the next time we get together, we'll see more, we'll be able to tie it together. This is Baruch, I'm at the Tikkun Elevator Kola.